Introductions. All right, so welcome to the August SNAC meeting. So let's get started with some introductions. Again, my name is Carrie Morse and I'm a consultant working with Unicorn Children's Foundation. And I'm so happy to host the SNAC meeting each month. In alphabetical order on my screen here, we'll go down the list. Adam Reback, I believe.
Yes, good afternoon. Adam Reback, Palm Beach County Community Services Department.
Welcome,
for SNAC
Adam.
meeting. Thank you.
Welcome. Well, you are welcome to join us each month if you find this one interesting. We welcome you.
Thank you.
Next up, Andrew Wellish.
Yeah, good afternoon. Andrew Wellish, grateful to be here from Legal Aid, Palm Beach County. And thank you all for hosting this and allowing us to be present here. Thank you.
Of course, welcome. Barbara Flood.
Hi, everybody. It's Barbara Flood from the ARC of Palm Beach County. I am the Senior Director of Education here, as well as the principal of both of our schools. I'm excited to learn about what other people are doing for parent trainings today. I know Carrie and I had spoken or emailed a couple of weeks ago, and we are just rebuilding our resource center and family service center. So we're always looking for ideas and any input. So I'm looking forward to today's talk. Thanks.
Thanks, Barbara. Courtney Relic.
Hi, everyone. My name's Courtney. I'm with Best Buddies International in Palm Beach County. I'm excited for this meeting and thank you all for being on it. I'm just here to learn a little bit more to help my families and help these parents with a little bit of guidance.
Thanks, Courtney. Cindy Monder.
Hello.
Hi,
How are
Cindy.
you? Hi. I'm sorry I joined. What are we doing?
So we're just saying our name, and if you want to do a short introduction, if you're a parent or on behalf of an organization.
Okay, I'm Cindy Monder. I am a parent as well as from an organization. We are a charter school for students in transition. And we just changed our name and our location. We're the Career Academy of Palm Beaches, and we are now in Mangonia Park.
Awesome, and I hope your school year is off to a good start, Cindy.
Thank you.
Carmen Brown. Hey, Carmen.
Hi, how are you guys?
We're just doing introductions.
Oh, okay. Hi, I'm Carmen Brown. I'm with Bright Feet's Special Needs Resource Directory. We will be coming to the Treasure Coast Palm Beach area in October. It's really exciting to meet you guys. I've met several people in person from this last SNAC meeting, and it's just been great to connect with you all.
Awesome. Thank you for coming again.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Destiny Rawls.
Hi, everybody. I'm Destiny Rawls, attorney at Legal Aid in the Education Advocacy Project.
Thanks, Destiny.
Hassan, I'm also an attorney at Legal Aid in the Education Advocacy Project. And just as a reminder, we have our education clinics for parents of kids with IEPs or 504s, where we'll kind of do a checkup for you, go over it as a one-time service. So email me if you're interested.
Thanks, Erica. Great announcement. Let's see. Erin Grubbs.
Hi, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I'm Erin. I'm new to Palm Beach County. I am an education and learning specialist, and really just here to listen and learn and get to know what resources are available for our needs in Palm Beach County. Nice to meet you. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming, Erin. Katie Moyet.
Hey everybody, I'm Katie. I am with ABA Centers of Florida. We provide ABA therapy to children with autism from St. Lucie down to Broward County. I want to mention that we have no waiting list right now and a lot of daytime availability. So I know that can be kind of rare to hear from an ABA center about the no waiting list. So feel free to reach out to me if you have any families that you feel are in need of some ABA therapy. Thank you.
Great. Katie, if you want to put your email in the chat, that would be great. Keith Borkney. Hey, Keith.
Hey, how are you? I'm Keith Berkney. I'm the Executive Director of Employ You. We are a nonprofit employment service helping adults with any various disabilities with permanent employment. And then any students 14 to 21, as long as they're in school with having an IEP or 504, they qualify for our transition program where we're getting them out in the community and working at various different businesses, different industries, get a work experience. And that's pretty much it. Thank you.
Thanks, Keith. Kelly Kearney.
Hi, I am here with FA's Academy for Community Inclusion. We're a post-secondary program for adults with intellectual disability who want to go to college and ultimately get a job. That's a key part of our program, as we are very focused on employment. And we're starting our new cohort of fall students next week. So that should be a lot of fun. Looking forward to it.
Very exciting. Thank you for sharing. Kim Harris.
Hi, my name is Kimberly Harris. I'm the intake specialist at Vocational Rehabilitation. They used to be Lake Worth office. I am also a parent of a child that has autism as well.
Thanks, Kimberly. Lauren Beat. Hey, Lauren.
Hey there. Hello, everybody. I'm Lauren Veet with Vocational Rehabilitation. And by the time my camera gets on, I'll be done introducing myself. But there we go. Hi.
Thanks, Lauren. Maria Rojas Lopez. Hi, Maria.
Good afternoon. Hello, how you doing? Well, I am Maria Rojas Lopez. I am the Customer Resource Manager for the call center in the Early Learning Coalition. Just to let you know, also, we are in practically open enrollment in an ongoing basis. We have no wait list technically, although, you know, the parents still have to apply. And of course, they just wait a few days in the meantime that we send notices of funding. But we are in constant drop replacement and open enrollment. So if you know of any families they are in the need for childcare or any other resources that we might be able to assist, please let them know to get us a call.
Awesome. Thank you. And I see that Maybe introduced herself in the chat. She's with Palm Beach County Community Services. Her mic isn't working, so welcome, Maybe. And Millery. Hey, Millery.
Hi, good afternoon. I'm Milo Isena. I'm with the agency for Persons with Disabilities. I'm the community resource person for the agency.
Great. Thanks for being here, Millery. And Riona.
Hi, I'm Riona Maharaj. I'm with Legal Aid. I'm also in Legal Aid of Palm Beach County, and I'm also in the Education Advocacy Project.
Wonderful. Welcome, Riona. Robin Jones.
Hi, how are you? I'm Robin Jones, the Associate Director of Adult Services at Els for Autism Foundation.
Nice to meet you, Robin. Well, see you again, I should say. And then Tammy. Hey, Tammy.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Tammy, and I'm a social worker at Alpert Jewish Family Service. I provide resources. I think you all know about our free workshop series open to everyone in the community, assisting individuals with disabilities and their parents and caregivers. And I also oversee our admissions to our wonderful residential program, but I won't go into full depth just now since we are one of the guest speakers on this afternoon's panel. But I would like to take the opportunity to introduce a new colleague to our community who I just came back from having coffee with, and her name is Amanda Bailey. She is an IEP and educational consultant. So I'll kick it off to you, Amanda, to say hello to everybody.
Hi, everyone, and I apologize for having the baby. He had just woken up from his nap, figures right when I was hopping on here. Yeah, I have been in the educational field for 20 years, and I recently just went out on my own, and I'm loving it. So I am here as an advocate, as anything to do with an IEP or 504. I have that New York mentality, so I will fight for the kids, and I just love doing it. So I would love to help anyone that needs it.
Nice to meet you, Amanda.
Same.
All right, Tracy Diaz. Hey, Tracy.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Tracy Diaz. I am with Southeast Florida Behavioral Health Network, and I am just sitting in to hear what you guys do and learn more about this meeting and to support my colleague Stephanie. So thank you for having me.
Great. Thank you, Tracy. And last on my list, I believe, is Nikki. Nikki, would you like to introduce yourself? Okay, it looks like you don't have a mic. If you want to introduce yourself in the chat, that'd be fine too. All right, did I miss anyone?
Carrie.
Yes, oh, Sharon, sorry, go ahead. Sharon Sanders, the CEO with Unicorn Children's Foundation. Hey, Sharon.
Good afternoon. I don't know why, like, I'm some dark villain today with my web camera. Like, if I get close, I'm like light and then I just fade to darkness. So I guess we'll just play the dark villain mode right now. Yes, I'm with Unicorn Children's Foundation. We create cradle to career pathways for kids and young adults with developmental differences, and we help their families navigate the complex journey. We are expanding our vocational training program with funding from the state, a state appropriation request. We are also expanding our family navigation program, which will allow us to help the families where they're at in terms of developing their own personal, social, recreational, short-term and long-term goals, as well as connecting them to resources in the community, such as the people on this group. We do have open positions for our family navigator. So if you know of anybody looking right now, it's a part-time position. In addition, we all, I'm sure, unless you live under a rock, we are currently in election cycle for the primaries, and we do have the election in November. September 20th is National Voter Registration Day. At Unicorn Children's Foundation, we are going to be opening our Special Perks Cafe as a voter registration site. However, coinciding with that, the week of September 6th to 12th is National Disability Voting Rights Week. We are partnering with Disability Rights Florida, Access the Vote, Rev Up, the Florida chapter of the American Association of Persons with Disabilities. During the National Disability Voting Rights Week, we will be hosting a panel on September 13th at 6 o'clock. It will be offered online. We are looking for panelists, in particular, people with a disability who have either voted or have had difficulty voting to be panelists. We also are opening it up and promoting it for attendees so that they can understand what their rights are, why it's important to vote, and engaging in their own civic responsibility. So if you have anybody who want to participate, please send them our way. Did I miss anything? We may be doing a proclamation with the county in terms of disabilities. So if we do get that, stay tuned to your SNAC email, because I think it's important as service providers, parents, professionals, and individuals or self-advocates that when any of us receive some type of acknowledgement from legislative bodies, we need to show up en masse so that we can no longer be ignored. The information that I have found out from the American Agency on Persons with Disability is we have 38 million Americans with disabilities who are eligible voters. And that's just less than, or just a little over half of all the people with disabilities who can access the vote. So if we encourage people to register and to make their votes, then perhaps people with disabilities will become a more often listened to topic for our legislators, whether they're local, state, or federal. So thank you. I'm really excited for today. And Carrie, I'll turn it back to you.
Thanks, Sharon. And thanks for all your work in that space. So we have, like I had mentioned earlier, 10 panelists to speak about family training programs. So I will go ahead and get started. And first up, we have Zippy and Aaliyah from the Ruth and Norman Rails Jewish Family Service. Welcome.
Thank you. Alia, do you want to start? Or do you
Sure.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Alia Longhurst. I am the director of the Toby and Leon Cooperman Therapy and Family Resource Center here at Ruth and Norman Rails Jewish Family Services. And we have a couple different things that we're offering. I'm going to see if I can hopefully pull up my screen. Oh, here we go. So, oh, I don't think that's showing what I want to show. Are you seeing this? Maybe it's on the other side. Are you seeing this parent workshops thing?
Parent workshops, yes.
Okay, perfect. Sorry. My computer's been acting kind of finicky. Okay, so we're actually offering some parent workshops. It's starting at the end of the month, but we're going to be continuing to rotate them. And the goal for this is really to have small, intimate groups, so 4 to 10 parents. And these particular workshops are aimed at parents and caregivers raising a child with autism. So the topics start from basically the parent whose child has recently been diagnosed with autism, offering an opportunity to connect with other parents and kind of process the different feelings and fears that may be arising from that. And then working towards building your child's team, helping caregivers identify critical support staff to help build their child's team. And then moving on to raising an independent child. So helping parents kind of understand how to create and explain realistic chores, expectations, rewards, boundaries to help their child become independent, starting at age 3 and then age appropriate moving forward. We've also got beyond high school, you know, for the parents whose kids are in high school and are wondering, what do I do next? What do I do after my child finishes high school? So how to transition to independent living, reviewing employment and housing options. Then we've also got the med waiver training designed to explain the med waiver and application process. And a couple interesting ones here, mindful marriage, which is designed for couples. So kind of processing, you know, how to focus on the couple relationship and, you know, reconnect and reinforce their marriage while raising a child on the spectrum. And, you know, for some of these, we are offering childcare during the trainings. If there's a training that doesn't say childcare is available, we're happy to see if we can offer that for parents so that they can come. And then we do have emotional release as well, which is kind of more of a art and music expressive group, but it's a chance for parents to connect with other parents who may be going through something very similar. So the best way to register for these would be to just call us. I mean, the number's here, but we have another number, which is 561-852-5099. They can always call or email myself or Zippy, and we can put our emails in the chat. And if they're interested or have any specific questions, those are some things that we have available. And then let me see if I can stop sharing this. Okay. And then thank you. And then another thing that we have that we're going to be offering is, and this isn't on as much of a fun little flyer yet, but I did want to get the information out. So we're doing a series of seminars that are run by a BCBA. And so these are more like using like parent training tools and tips to work on some of these things. So the first one is going to be strategies working with children exhibiting difficult behavior. So really an overview of like, how to identify a function of behavior. What do I do if my child is engaging in this? How do I know what a function is? And just kind of brief introduction to interventions and reinforcement strategies and things like that. The next one, and this will be like offered one after the other, and then we'll like as a series, and then we'll rerun the series. I guess the biggest question I have sometimes is like, what is best for parents? You know, what's the best time? We try to offer it in the evenings, or we're open on Sundays as well. So we're trying to kind of figure out what the community wants so that we can make it as available as possible. And I know that a lot of things are done on Zoom, but for these particular trainings, we really are hoping that we can do them in person, just so that that conversation can happen and the connectiveness between parents. So functional communication strategies to help reduce challenging behavior, prevention strategies to help reduce challenging behavior, social skills for children, and then for parents, how to respond to challenging behavior, how to set contingencies and token economies and things like that as well. So basic, ABA strategies in a nutshell for parents that if they don't necessarily want to go and, get the services, they can at least get some takeaways that hopefully they can try at home. And that's all I've got. So I'll share my information in the chat. And if anybody has any questions, please feel free to reach out.
Wonderful. And Zippy,
I think everyone knows just that I run parent support groups with Linda from JEFCO. I can quickly share the flyer. Hold on. And if I can, you know what? Forget it. I'm going to send it to Carrie and she'll send it out. So we have the groups every Tuesday morning. We're still on Zoom because it's just easier for parents right now to do that because everyone kind of pops in from work. But it's every Tuesday morning at 10, and then we have every other Wednesday evening at 6:30. And we're having it this Wednesday, so then it'll be in 2 weeks from now again. And it's all on the flyer. And if anyone has any questions or information, please feel free to reach out. Thank you, Carrie. We also run grandparent support groups.
Oh, yes.
Well, every Friday morning.
Thanks, ladies. That was great. And next, we have Elaine, and she's from the other JFS, so Alpert Jewish Family Service. Hey, welcome, Elaine.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, let me see if I can do this. Did I do it?
Yes.
Oh, now can I make it go forward? That's the question. Hold on a second. Okay, good. So let me look at the time. So thank you. I'm really excited to be here. And thank you, Carrie, for asking us to participate. And being an old timer in this community, I just want to say I'm incredibly proud of our community. I mean, this is so exciting to have so many people and organizations focused on special needs. So JFS, I'm just going to give you a quick overview of the agency, talk specifically about our services for persons with disability, and specifically also the what we're doing in terms of parent training and educational programming. So for those of you that may not know, JFS is in here. It doesn't just serve the Jewish community, it serves the whole community, and more than 24 different programs, with our emphasis really on creating seamless wraparound services to strengthen families, which when you're dealing with persons with any type of disability, our philosophy is, as I'm sure everybody gets, how important it is to help families connect those dots. JFS is actually really two agencies, Jewish Family Service and Jewish Residential Service, although we functionally operate as one agency. We have 3 major divisions that are part of Jewish Family Service, behavioral health, and within our behavioral health division, particularly relevant to this population and this call is not just counseling, but we also have child psychiatry, we have counseling, we have psychologists that are doing psychological testing. We have our psychologists that are doing the ADOS testing for early identification of autism. So that's can be very pricey, and we're really trying to offer it in a very affordable way. The agency has a variety of support groups for parents, for bereavement groups, caregiver groups, and general counseling services. And in terms of our long-term care division, to understand that, it's really to think about persons who are needing some type of ongoing supports to be able to maintain and sustain in their own home with as much independence as possible. And one of the things that has started to emerge through our long-term care case management program is a real increase in the number of people that do have loved ones with special needs who are looking at doing their future planning and needing case management now. So within long-term care, we have a guardianship program. So a lot of the folks that may call through life planning, which we'll hear about in a second, are really wanting to know, okay, you know, I'm here now, but who's going to help me navigate everything along the way between now and when my primary guardian is no longer here to take care of me. And we're actually having an influx of calls from people themselves who may have disabilities of some sort, who are concerned about wanting to have their own person in their corner, helping them figure out how to make plans. And that's our Advocates Plus program. So just really basically identifying and securing an advocate now in their life. Our centralized call line is our Community Access Lifeline, takes all the incoming calls from the organization, and to support the notion of it really being seamless services, we funnel everything through our centralized intake, and we use master's level professionals on the phone. And their job is really to do that kind of wraparound comprehensive initial assessment, so we really can see which of many programs that we offer might be helpful, but more importantly, if we can't offer something, to help them again connect the dots of where they might go in the community, which is why a meeting like this is so important for us. So it's really not just having somebody be given a phone number, but really helping them connect. Let me take just a minute and talk to you about our Live-In Jewish Residential Service, which again is not just for persons who are Jewish. And there are two major components of that program, a residential program. One is our apartment program, and the other is our life planning program. And Tammy is here, who runs life planning. But I think, let me start with the apartment program. Our apartment program is supported independent apartment living for adults that have a variety of disabilities. We do not focus on label and diagnosis in the program. We really focus on functionality. A majority of our residents have a diagnosed mental illness. We also have many that are on the spectrum. We also have folks that have intellectual disabilities. But what's interesting to me about the apartment program is that it's not a time-limited treatment program. It is a residential option for people who may always, for years, if not always, need some type of wraparound support and structure to function at their optimal level. And it's really about, if you get the right combination of structure, support, oversight, and we administer the medication. That's a key piece of the glue to have these adults not feel like they're living in a treatment program, but this is their home. And so they live in a community in Palm Beach Gardens, and we have about 30 adults living in that program right now. They live in their own apartments next to typical neighbors in the community, but the agency has one of the apartments that we have awake staff throughout the night, and serves as like the respite apartment. And then within walking distance, we have an activity center that I call sort of like it's sort of like the student union. It's like the meeting room, the centralized place where we have life skills classes, socialization, a variety of things like that, and out of which we administer the medication. So that's a little bit about the apartment program. Life planning, if people have not heard about our life planning program, it's been around for quite a while now. And that is a program that is really specifically started off as having two major parts to it. One was to sit with, it started many years ago, to sit with those older adults who who have their 60-year-olds still living in their home, or their 40-year-olds who had not done future planning for them. And when we started it, the concept was to sit eyeball to eyeball with those people and say, okay, when you're no longer here, what's going to happen? And that's about 20 years ago or so where life planning started. And that was the idea. And to really have those tough conversations. And then at the front end, the life planning program does that initial biopsychosocial assessment, kind of helps the family create a plan, if you will. And then a separate part of life planning, because those folks stay connected and they can continue to touch base with the coordinator of the program. And there's no charge for the life planning program or for the educational seminars. So the educational workshop series, which we've had as many as sometimes every other month, sometimes every month, sometimes every 3 months, just depending on how our bandwidth. But that really is a series that is open to the public at no cost. And we've really worked over the years at bringing kind of key content for families so that, they don't, I've often said when I speak that, when you are raising a child or having a sibling that has special needs, you're full time, you don't want to figure out where you have to go and which next phone number you have to call. And it's kind of up to us. I've always felt like it's up to us as the professionals to make that easy for folks. So we've brought a lot of the speakers together in these centralized workshops and really developed some good programming around, we have a good presentation on government benefits and the legal pieces of it and socialization. And some of you here have been part of those panels, and it's really not a sell your program. It's really a give information to families. It's really just about that. And our mailing list at this point is over 2,000 people to tell them about the life planning classes and workshops that come up. If any of you here are working with families, which I'm sure you all are, that have a loved one with special needs, get in touch with Tammy because they should be on the mailing list. And we invite you all to come. Now, a few of you know what is new going to be happening, and I'm very excited about this, is we are actually at the front end of a new day socialization program, which is going to be housed at our where our apartment program is now up in Palm Beach Gardens in the Promenade Shopping Center. We're kind of tripling the size of our existing activity center for our residential clients. And we're going to be opening up a program that really focuses on being that space for, and I know I had really wonderful talk with, Carrie and Unicorn, because I know there's some nice synergy in terms of where we are in the county, but really to have an opportunity to have another space where adults with a variety of special needs can come for programming, for activities. There'll be multiple classes happening during the course of the day. The focus is not on employment. It's more focused on the socialization and social skills. Again, the philosophy is going to be very similar to our residential program, that we really, again, are not going to accept just based on label. We will be able during the course of the day also to administer or monitor the administration of medication if the mental health challenge is part of what the issue is. And also in that space, we're going to be having counseling, a small counseling area too. So it is possible that people can, access those types of services from that space as well. So I'm really excited about that, and really, I've already talked to several of you on here and really just want to continue to create synergies and opportunities in our community for folks. So that is, I believe, my last slide. And
Thank you so much, Elaine. That was wonderful. And I'm really looking forward to your new programs. It's very exciting, much needed.
Thanks, Carrie.
Yeah. All right, next up we have Lissette Martinez from Fiddlers. Hey, Lissette.
Hello, and thank you for the invitation. I will try to share this. I think you can see it, right? Nope. Slide. Okay. Is it, can you see it now? Okay.
Yep, you're good.
All right, good. Well, my name is Lissette Martinez, and I am with Palm Beach County School District. That's where I'm housed, but I am part of our grant, which is with Fiddlers. And we are a discretionary project. And as you see, we our vision is to be able to provide services for our children and our families, and actually our staff as well. We want to make sure that the staff that's working with our kids are well vested and understand how to work with our children. So we provide training. So I'm going to go through some of these slides quickly because I just want to kind of get to the meat of everything. And so Fiddlers pretty much has 4 functions, and a lot of families that may be with us understand that they may have started ESC through Child Find. And I'll go into each of those different areas, but there is also the Human Resource Development, also known as HRD. We have the technology, and I saved the best for last, Parent Services, which is what I provide. A lot of the trainings that we have been providing, actually since the pandemic, everybody is doing it virtually. And I try to always look at the positive in things. And even though obviously a pandemic was not positive at all, but my experience was that we were able to connect with a lot more families through this virtual platform. And we provided the trainings, or we still provide the trainings in English, Spanish, and Creole. Those are our 3 basic languages. And what I learned is that parents really enjoyed this format, and they kind of felt like, you know, every time they would see me, because we do these monthly, I'm like their buddy, their friend, and I happen to speak Spanish. So I felt that a lot of this Hispanic community was able to really connect. And when I would remind them, I send them an email, they really took it very personally, like, oh, Lissette is inviting me to a meeting. So it was good. So we definitely saw an increase in participation. We also have, through the state, Fiddlers has webinars that are recorded. So these are great because parents can just go ahead and join at any time. And a lot of times we are up late, and that's the time we have a break that we can do and get on there. And I'll put in our website in a little bit, or my email towards the end. But we do have a lot of topics such as these examples that come from the state. And in Child Find, as many of you may have gone through it, we are searching for those children that we suspect have an area of weakness, and then we're trying to work with them and get those identified, evaluated, and placed in our ESC programs. I also will admit that Child Find is, it takes a little while. That's all I can say. But we are working and at least getting parents to understand the process. And we all work within our different organizations, and everything is a process. So this past year, what we had done is one of the trainings that we did was we linked up with Child Find staff and pre-K ESC services. And we were able to do a parent university. So parents would understand, why is it that I'm waiting? Well, you needed to have an audio evaluation done, and you did not do that part. So let me help you get that piece done so that we can kind of move forward. Or who is it that your case manager is? So Parent Services is working closely with Child Find, and we'll be providing those trainings as well this year. And the HRD, as I mentioned, we have to prepare our staff to understand our students and be able to work with them. So we are providing them different types of training. So we have a full team for that. And technology. I always tease everyone, but it's very true, is I'm older, so technology has been a challenge for me, but I have been learning, and technology is such a big key, especially with our population. And we have a great team that are part of Fiddlers and working directly with the students and then also with the staff with various materials, as you see there in the picture. And then parent services. So I will tell you, parent services has many areas. It's not just, okay, I have a phone call. There is that constant working with the families to answer questions, to hear them out, to link them with the appropriate people within the district or within the community. So that's why I love the fact that I am participating in this. And I thank you, Carrie, for the invitation, because I can really see what is out there. And I will definitely be following up with some other ones. I think that we should work together and not harder, but smarter. So I see some other trainings that have already been presented. So I will be reaching out to you, see how we can collaborate. So what we all overall will do is we're going to help a family, we're going to assist them, we're going to have them feel supported, just give them some tips, some guidance. I know that just being heard makes a big difference. And I think that that's the beauty of what we do, is that when a parent calls, and I can guarantee you that there are times a parent will call and they're very upset and my phone is going all the way out here. But I will gently bring them back and then say, okay, so let's focus on what it is exactly what you're needing. And then we end up with a smile and we're laughing, and they have just been heard, and they know that I will follow through. It's not just me. I also have a coworker, Mary Black, which many of you may have known, have worked with closely. So definitely what we do not do is we are not providing any kind of legal advice. Our services are free. We're not paid advocates or attorneys by any means. We do not give out any kind of medical advice or therapy. And if Mary Black were here, she would say, yeah, but sometimes we end up sounding like that, but it's because we've done this for so long. But we are very clear and defined in our roles here. I just like to call it that we're a bridge between the home and the school. And a lot of times some of our parents are being bombarded, especially in the beginning of the year, with emails and information, and they're not really sure who's who. So sometimes you'll have a conversation with them and then they're still not clear who you are. And so we work closely with them to make sure that they're comfortable and getting to know their school. And it also works for the school. The school will call me. I will have an ESC contact follow up, and I love that part where an ESC contact will call and say, you know what, I think that there's this parent that may need your help. What do you think? And a lot of times I already know them, or I can make some contact, and they're very happy to hear from us. And this is the information that if you need to get a hold of me, this is my email, this is my telephone number. And Mary Black works very closely with me. She will attend an IEP meeting for support. A lot of times Mary and I will meet with the families before an IEP meeting or a conference, a teacher conference, just so that family is feeling supported. So I look forward to working with any of the organizations that are represented here, and most importantly with parents. Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you, Lissette. It's wonderful information. And it's so important for families to understand that, they don't have to jump into paid advocates and, go through that route. They can really tap into some free resources first.
Having those options are important. So I thank you.
Yeah. All right, next up, Chelsea Ellinger from CILO. She's going to talk about the LEAP program. Hey, Chelsea.
Hi, thank you for having me. I'm Chelsea Ellinger, and I'm an advocate specialist with the Coalition for Independent Living. And I'm just going to share my screen. Is everybody able to see it?
Yep.
All right. So give me 1 second. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm trying to just put it in big version. Okay, so give me one moment, I'm sorry. Okay, so Coalition for Independent Living Options. I just want to briefly go over who we are and what we provide, and then I will talk about our LEAP program. So who is CILO? We are the Coalition for Independent Living, and we are a nonprofit, client-directed civil rights organization for children and adults with all types of disabilities. And we were incorporated in 1990, and we primarily serve Palm Beach, Martin, St. Lucie, and Okeechobee counties. So who do we serve? Any individual with a disability, any age, and any disability type. And this is just briefly going over what a disability is and different types of disabilities: physical, mental, emotional, sensory, intellectual and developmental, cognitive, medical, and hidden. So we cover all types of disabilities. Our CILO program overview. We are consumer-driven, consumer-controlled, and consumer-oriented. Our 5 core services: advocacy, independent living skills, peer counseling support groups, information.
Chelsea, I think you're breaking up a little bit.
Can you hear me now?
You're back.
We have a youth program that is up until the age of 26 years old. And this involves social skills, building independent living skills for any child up until the age of 26 years old that has a disability, and it can be a disability of any kind. We have a social service assistance program, disability, educational advocacy, transition programs, training and technical assistance programs, crime victim services, and recycling program. We also have a dine program and financial assistance, COVID financial assistance. And I'm just going through these quickly because I know I want to get to the point. This is just some of our victim and disability information. Different crime types, and I can provide this PowerPoint to everybody. Contracted therapy. We have some impact stories. A homeless victim of financial fraud contacted CILO in a need of advocacy, financial assistance, and accompaniment in order to regain custody of their property per a contract agreement. An advocate was able to help with all of these needs and accomplish all the goals of the consumer. So referral sources: law enforcement, other victim services, community-based organizations, shelters, self-referral, and internal referrals. Our intake process is very simple. It's one packet and it's an intake, and that provides a consumer with the ability to access all of our resources, not only educational based or within the realm of parent and child health, but also any resources within the agency. All right. So now I just want to go into our LEAP program, and it is in the works. We previously had the program up and running, and we are currently working on the details of it. So we are excited to announce that it will be coming the end of October, and we will have the topics, the curriculum, the core basis of it completely finalized. And in addition, we had funding for our educational advocacy, which unfortunately we lost the funding for. And we have been notified that we will be gaining the funding back the beginning of October 1st, and we will be back up and running for educational advocacy. So both things are in the future and just around the corner. And we kind of look to you guys. Do you have any suggestions or ideas that you would like to see implemented into our LEAP program?
So is the LEAP program workshops or trainings, or what do you envision?
We're envisioning trainings that we're going to put together for the parents. And it's going to be gaps in what parents know about what to ask for at IEP meetings, what their rights are, how to ask for certain things at meetings, topics such as that.
Great. Yeah, and where will the trainings be offered? Online or in person?
Zoom meetings, online.
Okay, yes. Great. Yeah, I'm sure this group has lots of suggestions, so this is the right meeting to come to. Well, thank you, Chelsea. That's very exciting. Thank you for sharing your new work.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Of course. All right. So next up, Kim Berryhill is here with SEDNET. Hey, Kim.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much, Carrie, for inviting me to be part of the panel. Very excited. So I'm going to share my screen as well. And hopefully everybody can see that. So just to give a little bit of an overview of SEDNET, as a lot of people don't know what SEDNET actually is. So SEDNET actually stands for the Multi-Agency Network for Students with Emotional Behavioral Disabilities. And I'm going to give you just a quick overview of what we do. The Multi-Agency Network for Student with Emotional and Behavioral Disabilities, or SEDNET, we create and facilitate the network of key stakeholders, such as yourselves. And we work together because we want to provide a quality system of care for our students who are with or at risk of emotional and or behavioral disabilities. SEDNET is actually written in legislation. I'm not going to bore you with the legislation piece of that, but we are written in legislation. We work with agencies, we work with school districts, we work with families to provide the quality system of care for students who are, again, at risk of or with emotional or behavioral disabilities. Our SEDNET website, I'm just going to pop it over here so you can see our SEDNET website. Our SEDNET website provides information about how we work within the Florida systems of care. It has a lot of different resources to tap into as well. And I can share the PowerPoint as well so that you can have all the links embedded. And we, again, work as a regional network of the major child serving agencies, the community-based service providers, students and their families, and we focus on developing that interagency collaboration and sustaining partnerships within education, mental health, substance abuse, juvenile justice, child welfare, and families and youth. There are actually 19 of us, and we are spread across the whole state of Florida. If you go to the SEDNET website and you actually click on any one of them, you will come up with their contact information. So if you're looking to contact someone who's outside of Palm Beach County, you can always go to the website and click on that region. I am the only one in Palm Beach County. There's one of us, and that is me. So I am the only one in Palm Beach County, but again, there's 19 across the state. We do have an executive director as well as a liaison. And again, we have 19 of us. On the SEDNET website, there are a lot of resources for educators, students and families, and systems of care to access. Specific to families, there are resources for mental health services, supports, research, education and training, and family-driven care as well. Specifically, I wanted to share, I did create a resource page that I will share with all of you. And this resource page shares all the information that we can find within the ESE department here within the district. I do have fiddlers on there. There's Lissette's right there as fiddlers, parent services. The ESE department, we do have within the ESE department page, and I'm just going to click on here so you can see what this is. We do have a parent community resources page that families can access right here. and have all the information such as the procedural safeguards, all these documents that families may want to access and review. There's a parent book, there's the special ed connection, and it also gives you some, like APD is on there, Agencies for Persons of Disabilities, 211, etc. So this page is very useful for our parents. In addition, and I actually didn't know this until I started this position, and we have an Esc Solution Center, and I didn't know that. So this is a resource where parents can actually click on there, and it's a form, and you can express your concerns and inquiries to the Esc district staff. So I did provide the link here and the link to the form so that parents can express if they're having any difficulties or concerns. I also included our 211, big resource here for any of our parents to utilize. In addition, the district also has a Caring First Community Supports website, and I wanted to be able to share that as well. If you go to this link, we have on here many of the people that are on here actually in their agency information. These are the community partners that we have agreements with the school district. It also tells the information, the age ranges that that agency works with, kind of the description for parents so that they can find what agency might fit best with their child and what kind of counseling or support that they offer, as well as phone numbers and addresses, etc. I also included here crisis supports. We have the crisis text line. The new 988 suicide crisis lifeline just came out in July. So that's another resource for our parents to utilize. The National Suicide Prevention Line, as well as our, I know Tracy's on here, the mobile response team is on here, the Trevor Project, the Florida Suicide Line, etc. So this is a document that I created so that parents can have a two-page document that has supports listed right on there, especially from the district. And again, that is it. So thank you so much for allowing me to join the panel. And I am already taking down notes of all these services that I didn't know about, and I can't wait to collaborate with.
Thank you so much, Kim. We appreciate you being here. And it's great that you put all that information together in one document. I know that that's a frustration for parents when things are all over the place. So I know that that's very helpful. All right, next up, we have Shayna Ginsberg from Palm Beach County Youth Services.
Hi, everyone.
Shayna.
Hi, let me share my screen before I start talking. Okay. Everyone seeing the right screen? Yeah? Okay.
Yes, we do.
All right. So I am Shayna Ginsberg. I'm the Chief of Clinical Services at the Palm Beach County Youth Services Department Education and Training Center. You probably know our director, Tammy Fields. I'm sure a lot of you know her. But just to tell you a little bit about the services that we provide, this is our mission, is really to serve all youth in Palm Beach County from 0 up to age 22. The magic word is that all of our services are provided free. There is no cost as long as a family does live in Palm Beach County and has a youth in that age range. So one of the divisions within our department is the Residential Treatment and Family Counseling Division. And so we offer specialized programs for families who need some kind of professional support to raise healthy children. So within our division, we have several different sections. We have High Ridge Family Center, and that is a residential facility for youth between the ages of 11 to 16. We have our Youth and Family Counseling Program. They provide outpatient services and also school-based services at some of our targeted schools within the district. And then the Education and Training Center, we also provide outpatient therapy services. We provide training, free trainings on a weekly basis. Maybe some of you are regular attenders at those trainings. And then we provide outreach in the community. So I'm going to focus just on some of the specific parent training programs that we offer. So one of them is the Systematic Training for Effective Parenting, or STEP, as we call it for short, because it's a mouthful. And the other is Parent-Child Interaction Therapy, or PCIT, another mouthful there. So I'll start with STEP. So this is an evidence-based parenting program. We offer it here in either a group or an individual format. And this is appropriate for any parents with children up until the age of 18. There are different handbooks that can be used for young kids, for school age kids, and for high school kids. So just depending on the audience, we would tailor that to meet their needs. And it really focuses on psychoeducation for child development, and also managing parental stress, which we know comes with the territory of having kids. So really it's aimed at improving parent-child communication and helping children learn from the consequences of their own choices. And really some of the target populations for this program would be parents that have kids who struggle with ADHD or some ODD or other disruptive behavior disorders. It would be really useful for those parents, but it's also great as a preventative measure. Even if your kid is not exhibiting any behavioral concerns, emotional concerns, social concerns, cross your fingers it stays that way. But in the event, that it does, you can always take advantage of this program, or just take advantage of it as a preventative measure for any of those things from arising. We also, and this is what I'm really excited to talk about today, Pcit is the newest addition to our clinical services here. This is also an evidence-based program. It is a dyadic parenting intervention. So both parents and children are participating in this service together. We can offer it in our offices. We can also do it via telehealth. Really, it's like if you've heard the term before, bug in the ear. We're coaching parents in how to use specific interventions with their kids, how to relate to their kids, how to communicate with their kids. So really we want to improve the whole family system by modifying the different interactions between parents and kids. And research really, there's a ton of research on Pcit that shows it's very effective with kids on the spectrum, again, with ADHD, with learning disabilities, speech delays, selective mutism. Those are some of the many concerns that parents might have going on with their kids, and this is really effective for that. We have here on staff at Youth Services 4 certified Pcit therapists, so you must be certified to offer this intervention. There's only 6 in all of Palm Beach County, so we have a lot of them right here. We are offering, again, this free, and we're really excited to provide this to the community. We just need to make sure the community knows that we're offering it. So glad we have the audience here to be able to share this information with. We follow a selective prevention model. So typically it entails like 12 to 18 sessions, and we monitor behavior at each session. Parents will fill out a measure. We can see exactly where they're starting. And then at every session, we can kind of see if behaviors are improving and what we need to do to really see improvement. I do have a flyer, which I will pop into the chat after I'm done speaking, if anybody wants to download that and share that with families. So it talks about, how this is specifically for families that do have kids with any kind of behavioral issues. The target age is 2 up to age 8. There are some modifications or adaptations for kids up to age 12, but the younger you can get them in, the better. And then this is the back of the flyer, which again, I'll send out, but it talks about, kind of what to expect if you are involved in Pcit. There's 2 phases of treatment. We have a child directed interaction phase and a parent directed interaction phase. And you can kind of see here, I won't read all of this, but what some of the concerns are that parents may be having. Some of the key things, just any kinds of tantrums or negative attention seeking, attention span, all those kinds of things it targets. So really helps with defiance and compliance and different things like that. So if you are in, again, I'll pop that into the chat so you have access to the flyer, but really all families need to do is contact the Youth Services Department. I have the phone number right up there. There's also an email address. You can also contact me directly. I'll put my email address in there for you also. But yeah, we're excited to have this service and hope to get your referrals for this. So thanks, everyone.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing, Shana. And if you'd like to send that flyer to me via email, we could also include it in the SNAC newsletter. So, and same to all of you, if you have flyers for these programs, we'd be happy to put that in there. Next, we have Stephanie Reynolds from Southeast Florida Behavioral Health.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Stephanie.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
All right, awesome. Hi, everyone. My name is Stephanie Reynolds. I am a family systems manager with Southeast Florida Behavioral Health Network. We are the managing entity over Circuit 15 and 19, which is Palm Beach, and then the Treasure Coast as well. And we actually, it's a little unique. We do not provide any direct client services, but this slide here just kind of goes through a little bit of what we do every day. We are a nonprofit community-based agency, and we're contracted through the Department of Children and Families. We are CARF accredited. We administer and provide oversight for our network of providers for behavioral health, which includes mental health and substance use services for children and adults. Our funding is primarily for the uninsured and indigent populations. For minors, we also cover many underinsured needs, care coordination, those who struggle to have appropriate access to treatment. Specific example is if a youth is in, let's say, Sandy Pines, and their insurance is only paying a small amount. We can help cover more of that. Did something happen?
Stephanie, we just don't see your screen.
I swear I didn't touch anything. Let me see what happened.
Sure. Try sharing again.
Okay.
There it is.
Yay. Okay. We ensure quality services and best practices. So a lot of things that some of the other presenters have discussed wrap around PCIT. It's really exciting to hear that these wonderful things are in the community, because there's not enough good stuff I can say about PCIT. So Shayna covered a lot of it, and I won't even have to piggyback. It just speaks for itself. But there's a lot of really awesome things that we do ensure our providers provide to the community. Recovery-oriented system of care, you'll hear that called ROSC a lot. Trauma-informed care, zero suicide, a lot of really wonderful things. I'm going to try to keep this under 10 minutes. And we also collect a lot of data, and we will modify practices and procedures based on the data that comes back. So we are kind of hands-on. One of the other services that someone else mentioned in their presentation is MRT. And I think that this is something that not everyone always knows what MRT is about. They are available all throughout Palm Beach County, 24/7, 365 days a year. It's free. There's never going to be a charge or a bill submitted later, and it can be used as many times as necessary. And I think a lot of people do know, like, oh, someone needs to get Baker acted, so call MRT. That is not what the focal point is. MRT is there to de-escalate and to safely de-escalate the situation and let everybody stay in their environment, whether it's school, home, or they're at Walmart with mom and something happened. So MRT can be used prior to that crisis, which we really want it to be used. That way we want everyone to stay where they should safely be staying. They will also do warm handoffs. If an MRT associate's been out there 5 times and the family trusts them and knows them, they'll help with those warm handoffs to another agency that does provide ongoing therapy or medication management services. And the community action teams, we recently expanded in Palm Beach County. We now have 2 community action treatment teams. The traditional age is 11 to 21, and these youth and young adults would need to have a mental health or co-occurring substance abuse diagnosis. And they also need to have some of these characteristics met. Interaction with law enforcement. It does not have to be an arrest, but it could be maybe the SRO officers had to kind of come in and intervene at school a few times. That would definitely count. If they have any involvement with DJJ, poor academic performance or suspensions, and if they've had traditional therapy and it just has not been helpful, it hasn't quite been enough, the CAT team is considered the highest level of care in the community before residential. We definitely want to keep kids out of residential if it's possible. And the PCIT component actually comes in here. We have our early childhood CAT. This started the beginning of July. So this is brand new for us. And our therapist for the ECCAT is in the process of becoming PCIT certified. So that 6 is going to change to 7. And I believe Cher is actually becoming certified as well. So there will be 2 that can provide this service. And this is going to be for really young kiddos. And this is the ones that maybe are just having some of those emotional issues, or they're getting very physical at preschool. And the preschool says, nope, you can't come back. Well, what's that parent going to do? We don't want to keep repeating the same, situation, just in different locations. So this is where the PCIT comes in, and the entire support of the team. We have parent mentors, we have child mentors if appropriate, medication management, again, if appropriate. Z codes are going to probably be used more often with this younger population, because we don't want to encourage diagnosing with some of those heavier diagnoses. That's not helpful for the youth, and it's not helpful for anyone. So the Z codes are definitely more situational or environmental based, and they don't carry the same stigma that some of the other diagnoses can take or can carry. And wraparound is another one that I heard someone else mention. Wraparound is absolutely amazing. It really helps support the family. And if you have a family that has 5 different providers, they can get overwhelmed very, very quickly. Wraparound helps organize that, gets everyone to the table on a regular basis, really focuses on the strengths and the needs of each individual family. It's just very individualized. If anybody in the family is struggling with a team member, it's just quickly reconfigured. We want the family directing their care. We want to empower them to make the best decisions for their family, because they are the experts. And last but not least, another emphasis that we have been putting on all of our providers is that language matters. And this kind of just flowed from the wraparound model. We want everybody to be, putting the people first, emphasizing abilities, definitely strength-based, and just being very aware of the differences between each family and each person that we serve. So thank you very much. And I'll probably send Carrie a few of the slides and some of the brochures that we have for the different programs we oversee.
Perfect. Yes, we'll include that along with the link for this recording in the next newsletter. Thank you so much, Stephanie. Wonderful services, much needed in times of desperation oftentimes. So we appreciate your work. Next up, Mary Ellen Quinlooney from CARD is going to talk about the parent training services that you all offer.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Carrie, for this opportunity. I just want to say good afternoon to everyone and thank SNAC for this opportunity. I'm Mary Ellen Quinlooney. I'm with FAU CARD, and I'm going to shut this off here. Let's see. And we're here to kind of share several different layers of support. CARD is an agency. It's through the state. We're state funded through the Florida legislature. There's 7 CARD centers across the state. And one of our primary missions is training and supporting parents. So our mission is to provide expert consulting, training, and support at no charge. All of our services are free for all people across all race, ethnic, and gender groups with autism and related disabilities. And we also work, a big part of our work is with families, employers, other professionals, community and governmental agencies, serving everyone in the community to better support individuals with autism. This is our website. I will be happy to send this slide. And then we have a calendar that comes out every month with all our events. I just kind of went through to identify some of our trainings. Many of you may be familiar with our parent training, our Little Owls parent training. What we try to do is most of our trainings are offered in, all of our trainings are offered in English and Spanish. Some Little Owls is in Creole, and then we also offer it in Portuguese as well. This is a series of trainings that really welcome parents and help them through that identification process. So that helping them work with their child, helping them to through the IEP process, the identification process, social communication, safety, all of those kinds of things. It's a 6-week course. It's offered online and offered several times throughout the year. We have one that's coming up in August and September. We also have, many of our parents have difficulty accessing behavioral services. So we developed, wrote a grant for an evidence-based program called Research Units in Behavioral Intervention, RUBY. We call it Building Better Behavior. The training, there are 6 sessions. It's offered online. It's offered by a social worker and a behavioral BCBA. There are coaching sessions in between, and the parents identify a target behavior that they want to work on. Many of our families do not have access to BCBA and behavioral analysis services. So we offer this also in Spanish, and we're working on the Creole piece as well. Another, this is the Spanish flyer. We also do several different trainings. These, I just pulled some of our flyers off our website. And like I said, all of the trainings are on our website. Toilet training is one. We use visual supports. How to use visual supports is another training. Our families, we serve over 6,500 families across we serve Palm Beach County and the Treasure Coast. And our youngest constituent is 1.5 years. Our oldest is in his 80s. So we have a variety of trainings that we offer, and we offer many customized trainings. This shows APD and Med Waiver. All of our families, when we register them, we make sure that they have access to Med Waiver. This is a training that was done in Okeechobee. So we do specific trainings for customized trainings for specific regions. Understanding your preschoolers IEP. We do a lot with families and helping them to understand the IEP process at different ages and ranges, and preparing your preschooler for kindergarten. That's another training that we just completed. Like I said, we provide training across the range. Supporting back to school routines, how parents can work with their children and support their children so that their children are successful. Transition to high school for middle school students. That's typically pre-K, and then again in transition from middle school to high school, and then transition from high school to adult is another area. Working with the understanding the IEP process, that's another training that we offer, and we offer these throughout the year. Financial planning. We work a lot with Alpert Jewish Family Services and sharing your flyers. And if any of you have resources that you share, we'd be happy to share them and post them on our social media. Internet safety. This is a huge issue for many of our families and teens. Supporting executive functioning. We do quite a bit of training and working with young adults and teens. And then adult training. Like I said, a lot of it, we service up through the ages, across the age span. So many adult trainings we offer as well. We also have another grant called Pcit, Partnership for Effective Practices for Students with Autism. And this is just one sample of a training for parents. So we offer a training for educators, but then we'll do a companion training for parents. Another area is navigating later diagnosis. We know that there's quite a few areas of disproportionality in autism. So that's an area that we work on. We also partner with other CARD centers. This is a training that we're doing in November with the FSU CARD Center. So we provide training there. In addition to trainings, we also do several different support groups we have. We have a Black parent support group. We also have a Spanish-speaking parent support group that we also work with. And in addition to our parent support groups, we also have a newsletter that comes out 3 times annually. And then every 2 weeks, we send an email blast to families with all kinds of information and support. Any of you are welcome to join that. We have a parent resource guide that we help to decipher some of the, the student scholarships, different options that parents have. We started at, we do research, but one of the things that we found is that many pediatricians were unaware of the full spectrum of autism. So we developed a pediatrician guide, and we're working currently with 211 to distribute that pediatrician guide to all of the pediatric practices in Palm Beach and also the Treasure Coast. We share this with families as well because it provides resources to parents on what to ask and how to ensure that if they have concerns that developmental screenings are being done. What we're finding in our research is that many pediatricians don't provide developmental screenings. We also have an early childhood resource guide that's on our website, really helping. What we have done is looked at our research and looked at our numbers, and what we've found is that many children are not being identified early. And so what we've done is develop this guide, and we're in the process of training many of the providers in the community on what to identify, how to identify, what are the some behavior basics, sensory needs, all of those kinds of things. Additionally, every year we put together a summer program for parents where they can look at it's from children through adults across the 5-county region, and we identify all the programs that are there. We also have a safety and wandering elopement training. We do a lot of that with families, and we have a parent training. This is on our website as well. We also work with our young adults, particularly on how to about the West Climate Fear Interview Act, about how to interact with law enforcement, which they be doing to keep themselves safe. And so those pieces. Water safety is a huge piece in Florida, and we have had some drowning. So that's another piece that in every year in September, we'll be having a parent resource fair on safety. We do a lot on nutrition tips for parents. And eating, and that's a challenge for many children because of the sensory needs. We also have several fact sheets in Spanish, Creole, and Portuguese on our website on various evidence-based practices. We also have a mentoring program that we work with families with. And so these are this is all online as well. And the other thing many of you may not know or may know is that we do quite a bit of research. A lot of the research helps inform our practices and products that we have developed. So we have a project right now with FDDC, Florida Developmental Disabilities Council, and we're looking at statewide disparities in race and ethnicity. There is my information here if you have any questions. A lot of the information I mentioned on here is on our website. So thank you very much, Carrie, for this opportunity and to SNAC.
And I want to thank Mary Ellen because she, when we were thinking about family training as a topic, she gave me a list of many of your contacts. So thank you for always being a valued partner and such a great resource for us all, Mary Ellen.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Yeah. Jean Pcit, you are up next talking about the Parent Education Network and the trainings that you all offer.
Thank you so much. This is Jean Pcit. I'm a parent training coordinator with Family Network on Disabilities. And it's a pleasure for me to be here today. I hope everyone's doing well. I'm also here with my partner, Lisa Math, and we're going to very quickly wrap up by presenting our parts. I'm with Penn, as you can see here in the presentation. You see the counties that we cover. So all from Central down the East, all the way down to the Keys. So, of course, you know that we are Family Network on Disabilities. We are a family-driven nonprofit organization that started in 1985 when a group of parents got together to share information and really just support one another. And so today we are a nationally recognized organization for persons with disabilities, for those who suspect that they may have a disability, as well as their families, professionals, and any member in the community. Of course, we're funded by the Department of Education and also by the Department of Special Education. So when we provide support to our families, of course, this is completely free, and it's a pleasure for us to do so. Of course, our disclaimer is that we do not act as attorneys or doctors or mental health professionals, but what we do is that we provide information, resources, and support to our families. Most of our staff, from the director's seats to the field staff, we all are a family member, or we have a child, or ourselves have a disability or a condition. So that means for the parent, we understand very well what that walk will look like. We've been there. We had the diagnosis. We had to go through the cycles, and that helps us to connect with our parents in a very special way. And so, of course, not only the parents, but when we address professionals or we are presenting to panels such as yourself, we have sort of both sides of the coin. So I think that makes it pretty special for us here at Family Network on Disabilities. So this is our mission statement, so that we strive for the complete integration and equality of persons with disabilities in a society without barriers, and to serve families of children with disabilities from birth to 26 who have a full range of disabilities as described in section 6023 of the IDEA. So Family Network on Disabilities has like a family of services, and here are our 3 parent training and information centers. Up north in the Panhandle, we have Poppin, and we have PSN on the west side of Florida, and of course we mentioned earlier Penn. We also have Family Star, and Lisa's going to elaborate much more on that service. We also have FND Trust Services that provide trust management service to families. And we also have FND Dadvocates, which is a network of dads that, share their journey as fathers of children with disabilities. So what is a PTI? It's a Parent Training and Information Center. Okay, these Parent Training and Information Centers are, of course, funded by the U.S. Department of Education at the Office of Special Education Programs, OSEP. We are based on the IDEA, as you know, the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act. We strive to help parents understand their rights and, of course, their responsibilities for themselves, for their children, and same thing, to understand the rights and responsibilities of the school and the agencies that are involved in the IEP process. So when a family member calls, or somebody who's concerned about a child with a disability, what exactly happens? Well, they can talk to someone that has walked down the similar path. I myself have a son who received a diagnosis of autism, and I share that with my families regularly. And so from birth to early intervention, the first IEP and transition, et cetera. So I have that lived experience that I can couple it together with the information that we gather, and help our families, give them support in that way. So they can contact us by email, through social media. We have our FND Facebook page where we present live webinars, either alone or in collaboration with one of the agencies. We receive about 15,000 phone calls per year where we help families. And now we also do Zoom teleconferences with families. We sometimes also review the IP with them over the Zoom, so that we can help them understand how to go ahead and work out their case with the school. So we also attend disability and community resource fairs. And now that COVID is down, of course, we're going to be going out in the community much more. And we also do face-to-face meetings, again, maybe meet for coffee with the parent or engage in some specific disability groups. We also provide some technical assistance and training, and that means not just the family, but also the community and at the school. So we provide trainings that are child-centered. That means that we encourage the parent to work together, not only with the school, with the district, but with their community. Because as the child grows up, that connection can make a great difference in their success and outcome. One important program highlight is the Disaster Readiness Guide. It is on our website. A lot of times we forget how important it is for families who have children with disabilities to take an extra step in safety. And so that's my part. I'm going to pass over the mic to my colleague, Lisa Math. Lisa.
Thank you,
can go
Jen.
ahead. Absolutely. You're welcome.
Thank you. That was a great introduction for our organization. So it makes my job easier to wrap it up for the rest of us. So let me go ahead and get our presentation up for this one. So I am Lisa Math, as was mentioned. I am the director of the Family Star program, and I'm going to tell you all about that in just a minute. I am also a certified recovery peer specialist with an endorsement in working with families. So that's a national certification that allows for family members that have loved ones with mental illness or substance misuse challenges to become certified professionally with training, 500 hours, it felt like years of in-service work, as well as a state test and continuing education. So I'm actually bringing my lived experience as well as my professional training to the work that I do with the families through FND. So what is a F2F HIC? So Family Star, and STAR is an acronym for Support, Training, Assistance, and Resources, is an F2F HIC. That stands for Family to Family Health Information Center. So parallel to the PTI centers, which you just heard about through Jen, we have another program, which is the F2F. So the PTIs work with the families that are throughout the school districts in the state of Florida. We are a state-run agency. We work throughout the entire state. On my program, Family Network, we work through the medical and mental health systems, and we support those families that have children birth to age 26 with any type of complex medical condition, special healthcare need, developmental disability, or mental health challenge. And we are funded by the U.S. Department of Health through the Health Resources Services Administration. So similar to the PTI being funded through OSEP under Department of Education, we're funded through HRSA under the Department of Health. There is an F2F in each of the states and Washington, D.C., and they have grants that are renewed every 5 years. And we, as I mentioned, we work with these families to support them, to get them resources, to train them, to enable them, and to encourage them to advocate effectively for their children with disabilities. So how we help providers and systems. Through our F2F programs, we work to help with the families to connect with those systems and the providers. We also are working to advocate for changes in the system on policy levels, as well as legal levels and programs that are offered not only in the communities, but on a statewide and a national level. We also provide trainings to professionals and providers throughout the state on how to engage with families, and I'll mention that in just a minute. We also partner with systems to improve services. I know in my role, I sit on many task force to help encourage the change in systems to encourage family voice to be included. So you saw the maps earlier of the different divisions. So this is the entire state of Florida broken out according to the territories for the parent training centers. So you have POPIN, which is parents offering parents information and networking, PSN, which is parent support network, and PEN, as you mentioned, Jen, is parent education network. The Family Star program is an entire statewide program. So we don't break down into territories. We work with families throughout the state from the Panhandle to Key West. We also provide information and resource linkage to vetted and evidence-based practice programs. So we use everything from the Office of Special Education Resources, the Center for Parent Information and Resources. We use Bureau of Exceptional Education, Department of Health, Center for Medicare and Medicaid Services, Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration, and a whole host of other national recognized organizations that offer education and training. And we build on what that information has. So how do F2Fs help families? Well, we start by sharing appropriate resources for the individuals that we work with. I work with families direct service as well as with professionals. And we are constantly giving them information and resource linkage through their communities. Many of them don't even know about even the basic service of 211. So it's quite a task. We also offer peer support and comfort. As I mentioned, I'm a certified peer, so a lot of that training comes into play in the work that I do with the families. We also train those families on how to engage with those providers and be an advocate on all the different system levels that could be locally within their schools, all the way up to the state and national levels. And we educate families about their rights and the laws that protect those individuals with disabilities. So many families, unfortunately, don't realize that they do have rights and protections behind them that they can use if they are not getting appropriate services. How do we help the providers in all of the systems? Well, we educate professionals on how to engage with families. We often take for granted that professionals working in our systems really understand that collaborative effort of the family voice and being inclusive. And so we're really conscious about training professionals appropriately. We also collaborate with professionals to provide support for families they may be working with directly. We work to strengthen the systems. As I mentioned, we sit on multiple task force throughout the state and interagency groups and SNAC committees, and offer our support and input. And finally, we participate on a local, state, and national level to advocate on every level. So that could be changing policy, changing programming, or changing laws, depending on whether it's an appropriate system change. So this is just a snapshot of the multiple layers of trainings that we have. So the PTI division has a whole host of trainings, as does the Family Star program, everything from training parents about the systems of care and the laws that protect them, training professionals on how to engage families, understanding trauma-informed care, cultural diversity, collaborative communication, compassion fatigue. We have, like I said, close to 50 workshops just under the Family Star umbrella. So this is our website. I really encourage you to jump on there. We have hundreds and hundreds of resources in multiple languages. We also have 7 Facebook pages addressing the needs of the different PTIs, the Family Star program, Black communities, Black families in the community, and Spanish-speaking families in the community, as well as our overall main page. We are also active on Instagram and Twitter, and we have an e-learning platform called F&D University on our website. It's modules that you can share with the families, or as a professional, learn more about the different systems of care and how to navigate them. And again, all of our downloadable resources are you can share with your families. They can be downloaded and printed, and some of them are in multiple languages, so you can share those resources with your families as well. And then finally, if you or a family that you're working with might need support, again at no charge, you can reach us at 800-825-5736. I'll put that number again in the chat box, and we'd be more than happy to speak with you as a professional, maybe to help guide you with a family you may be working with, or do trainings for your staff. Or if you feel a family could benefit from additional resources that we have to offer, we encourage you to give them our 800 number. And that's all for me.
Thank you so much, Lisa. That was a great overview, and I really did enjoy your training for professionals. I think that that's a really great training. If anybody's interested, maybe you have new staff coming on that are working with families, or seasoned staff that just need a refresher. I think it's really a great opportunity. So now I'm going to open it up to questions. I was going to do questions in between, but I'm glad we didn't, because we wanted to make sure that we were on a good pace for everyone's time. And thank you all that presented in keeping it, you gave so much information, but keeping it short at the same time. So let's open it up to questions. If you want to take yourself off mic or raise your hand, however you are comfortable. I think we're all digesting maybe all the information. So much available.
I think, if I may, Carrie, I'm trying to figure out the best way to aggregate all the information from today to share with everyone. I don't know if a spreadsheet could be produced that has our contact information, or if we could put it all in your newsletter. I just think there's so much here. I was trying to take notes, but I could not keep up with everything that was shared today. And I know there's many collaborations here waiting to happen.
Yeah, I think I was thinking about that too. And before we started the meeting, I thought about a spreadsheet, but I wanted to see what happened organically. In the next newsletter, what I can do is not only include this recording, but I'll include your flyers, links for your presentations, and then maybe your contact information. I can take it from each of your signatures. And then we can kind of make it an overview of what we went over today for everyone. Does that work? Okay.
Great idea.
Wonderful. And if you'd like to, and you haven't yet, you can go ahead and drop your contact information into the chat. I know that sometimes as a provider, when things are clicking and you think, oh, I need to reach out to that person, you want to do it sooner, than later, just so that you don't forget. So I've seen folks doing that as well. So you're welcome to reach out and start collaborating. Well, wonderful. I don't see any questions. That means that you all did a spectacular job in describing what you all do. It is amazing what we all do in terms of the amount of service and support for families in Palm Beach County. You got to take a step back and just realize how many free services there are available. So I think we just need to do more of this and understand, the differences and the similarities in the services that we all offer, and hopefully we can collaborate and do so.
Carrie, I was even thinking, I don't know if you can save the chat.
Yeah.
And maybe, I don't know if you want to send that in the newsletter, but possibly send it out to us that participated, only because that's another avenue of all the contact information.
Sure, sure. Yep, I will go ahead and do that. We could download that through Zoom. Wonderful. So if there's no other questions, I'll just give everybody a minute to go ahead and enter any last minute things in the chat. But like I said at the beginning, if you all are interested, we host meetings every month. So you are welcome to join us. It's the same day of the month and same time. And if anybody has ideas for future topics, I know last month we suggested family trainings, and so we went with it, and it turned out beautifully. Does anybody have any suggestions for next month? If you can't think off the top of your head, maybe you can send me an email. Great, Kim, thank you. We welcome you, of course. All right, so I will be in touch with you all soon. Thank you for your time and presentations, and I look forward to our continued collaboration.
Thank you, Carrie.
Thank you, and have those of you in school, good luck with the beginning of your school year.
Yes, thank you for putting this together, Carrie. This was great.
Of course, thank you all. It's a team effort. All right, have a great afternoon. Bye-bye.